if I happen to have time with my children, I want to do a project. We have like these little fun homeschool construction boxes. Like
Hmm.
I want to dive in and do something hands-on with them. And
Hmm.
I honestly could not see a video game taking place with that. And that, I mean, it's so valuable. I mean, like you said, these younger years are so valuable, and
But even the teenage years are
even,
valuable too. It's like
yeah,
the any time you have with your loved ones is valuable, and so they have different needs in these different seasons, but making sure those needs are met and
yeah.
not being overburdened by tech, social media,
Hmm.
gaming.
You're letting
And
these devices, or the people who created these gameplays and the systems, like they're being taught something by somebody else.
and we have to understand how close pornography is to video gaming, because so much of the game is sexualized in the characters. You're just a half a click, I say, not even one click. I say you're a half a click away from exposing your son to that whole world,
Mhm.
that will be, blind to you, because you're not in the game with him every second playing, if you're letting him play. The other thing, again, with pornography too, I think parents don't understand the cumulative effect of pornography. It's not like, oh, my child saw something once, or and then they throw the towel in because they think, oh well, they've already seen the naked body, so oh
Yeah.
well, it doesn't matter. Well, no, it does matter.
Mm.
Every single image, it is cumulative. It is stored in their brain like a little memory chip. We can't forget the violent JPEGs that we see. They get stuck in our brain, and it causes a lot of stress, and their adrenaline goes up. Their amygdala is stimulated. They're living in a chronic stress state. And that kind of defines what's happening to our kids today on social media, video games, pornography. Those are the things. And when they're outside, they could be trying something really hard outside, but it's
Yeah.
not the same kind of stress. It is very healthy stress. Or
Yeah.
maybe they're learning something on their piano and it's really hard and they get frustrated, but that's very healthy for them. That
Mm.
problem solving stress is very healthy because it goes up and it comes down. But when they're on a screen, it goes up and it does not come down. And it's chemical, it's emotional, it's physical. The physical changes, emotional changes. There's so many things that happen. And so, again, we're not going to scare everyone. What I'm here to tell you is that as parents, we have complete control over this. Yes, it is the world we live in, but you know what? We're adults, and there's alcohol out there. There's things that we do. We drive around the highway, right? But we don't let our kids do this. There, just because it's there doesn't mean that it's good for our kids. And I also will tell you, with young kids, with kids the ages that y'all have right now, this is the time where you establish your values around screens in your home. And so you could argue with me and say, well, I think a little bit of Fortnite is okay. Well, actually, it's not, because that's for teenagers and up, but every first grader is playing it. But you could say, well, what about a little bit of this and a little moderation here? And we don't want our kids to binge and go crazy over this stuff. Well, I'm
Yeah.
telling you that moderation doesn't work on in these areas. And the
Yeah.
reason why is because they're too addictive. You
And
don't,
like you said, they're violent, so you're
yeah.
exposing your first, second, third,
Mhm.
fourth grader child
Yeah.
to things that are very violent, and that's not good for the heart, mind, or soul.
No, and then
And
you have
so you
to,
have to question this normalization, and plus also understanding that there is I'm guessing $1 billion industry
yeah.
behind these games. So of
Yeah.
course they want you in, and of
Yeah.
course they're going to
Yeah.
normalize it, and of
Yeah.
course they're going to be like, yes, this is a-okay for your children.
Hmm.
Join on in and have some fun.
That's
And
right.
then the other thing I'm thinking about too is like we have a lot of young men that are struggling to grow up, to
They're not
mature,
growing
to
up.
step into the real world, to become providers for their family, to become
Mhm.
faithful men who can
Mhm.
serve society at large in a solid and healthy way. And so I mean, I'm sure we could have a whole nother
Yeah.
Oh
conversation on
yeah.
That is
that.
the side effect. You're exactly right. And my daughter now is in her late 20s, and she's really struggling with this, with dating. It's very hard
Yeah.
And vice versa, for boys to date girls that are addicted to social media, that's a very bad thing. And then for the girls to try to date boys that are just playing video games all day. And what happens with any of these screen addictions, it pulls you out of the real world. Everything else is lame that's happening in the real world. You want to
Yeah.
escape to your video game. I mean, Adam, how can you get more dopamine than Call of Duty? I mean, it's
I
crazy how
played it. It's
much.
super fun. Yeah, then it's
Yeah,
like, I know I gotta stay away from that because, I mean, it's been 12 years since I've played Call of Duty, but I still remember it and I still
yeah,
know it. And I know it's like super fun.
yeah,
And but I was thinking about when you were talking about the relation of like drugs, alcohol, and this just being right up there with it. I was like, it clicked with me, like being Christian, like where does the Bible talk about this? And in Ephesians 5, 16, it says, and do not get drunk with wine, for that is debauchery, but be filled with the Spirit, addressing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody to the Lord with your heart, giving thanks always for everything in God the Father, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. So, when you related, screen addiction to there, it's like, yeah, actually the Bible does talk about this. It does talk
absolutely.
about being
Yeah,
sober minded and being together. Like when we're singing psalms and hymns together, we're together as a community. But when we separate ourselves with our games and social media, we're so isolated. And that's not, I mean, as a Christian leader in a family, like we need to take ownership of that and lead our families towards what is good and right and truthful.